now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. Welcome you guys to the Good Bad Advice Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we give unsolicited advice to people in the news each week. And we are super pumped to be here. How are you, babes?
I'm so good. How are you?
Okay, you had a trip for spring break. Tell everybody what you guys did.
We went to St. George. Went to St. George with my parents and my siblings and their kids. It was a little cold.
Oh, okay.
But of course, like, the kids don't care. They're like, we want to swim. We were like, it's 50 degrees with the wind. Like,
oh, yeah.
So it was chilly at some points.
Okay.
But all in all, a very lovely weekend, a lovely getaway with family. I am like pro staycation. I love a staycation.
Well, we know how you feel about Europe in general after last week's episode. So that kind of is on brand.
Yeah. I
love
Europe.
My staycation is to Costco.
Yeah, exactly. There's also something too about like quick trips. Like when you go to Europe, you also are gone for like 7 days max.
And then there's the fallout on the first end of the trip when you get there and then coming home, adjusting to time zones.
Exactly. And then it's like dealing with jet lag, getting back. Like at some point during a trip, the first time you think, I really miss my bed, the trip is over.
Yeah.
The trip is over. And a staycation, it's like, we really only have to go there for like 2 nights and be back. I love a staycation.
At St. George is a good little getaway because it really does feel like you're on a vacation. Even though you just within driving distance.
Yeah, you're in a different planet. Yeah. It's like once you pass Beaver, the rocks start turning red. And it's like, where are we even? So it really does feel like you're somewhere else. Oh, we went to, I do not know the name of it, the best restaurant in St. George, which I was like, huh?
Okay.
In St. George? It's, I don't know the name of it. It's like in a hotel lobby, pretty much. You like walk to the back of the hotel lobby. So good.
Wait. Is it kind of like Wood Ash Rye?
Yes.
In the hotel lobby?
Yep.
We go there for brunch.
Their food was so good.
Yeah, delish.
I was
also way to go me, just like
literally pulling that out of nowhere. When we walked out too, I was like, I already had a good meal, and then we walked out and there was a golden retriever puppy right there. And I was like, is this the greatest day of my life? I like walked up to them and I was like, oh my gosh, how old is he? I was like petting him, and then I was like, you're literally the luckiest people I currently know, and then walked away. But also like the worst because puppies are kind of a nightmare. Yeah,
puppies are the best and most exhausting thing.
Yeah, absolutely can be the worst at times. But yeah, my weekend was great. How was your weekend?
Good. Steven and I are in the throes of furniture shopping.
Oh.
Which this is how it goes, okay?
We didn't even talk about this last week, by the way.
We didn't. We bought a house.
Woo!
Woo! This is how the house buying experience went. And we do have to shout out to a good baddie, Jordan Hanks, who we love. He's with Mansell Realty. And...
Wait, can I just plug Jordan? Because I met him for the first time at the...
Beyonce party.
At our hoedown.
Uh-huh.
Literally one of the sweetest, nicest humans. You know when you can tell people are listening?
Yes.
He was so engaged in our conversation, and like that is not an easy thing to do when you're at a party.
No.
I would like
a Beyonce listening party.
Yeah, exactly. I felt myself just being like, wow, this is like really admirable how much he like genuinely seemed to be present.
Oh, he's good,
especially for just meeting me for the first time.
Yeah, no, we love him.
But he was like that with literally everybody in the room, and so it's just quality. Yeah, you're a quality person. Quality. And his husband was so nice too.
Yeah, they live in Daybreak.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that don't know, Daybreak is kind of like its own little neighborhood community in Salt Lake.
Like mildly Stepford wives in that like all of the houses have like
perfect porches,
white shutters. It's various shades of blue, yellow, and red.
Yes, it's a planned master community that the Millers developed years ago. They put in a man-made lake. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a really beautiful community. So Steve and I had been looking at houses for a long time. We knew that we were going to build and then that fell through. So we were like, pivot, let's figure out what the next best thing is. So we were looking at different areas, and he grew up kind of in a neighborhood just adjacent to Daybreak. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I don't really want to look in that neighborhood. And I said, well, let's look at Daybreak because it's so different. Wednesday, like 3 or 4 o'clock, I find this house last Wednesday. 2 Wednesdays.
2 Wednesdays.
Yeah. And I sent, and it's in Daybreak. So I actually sent it to Jordan, who's a realtor, but he lives at Daybreak. And I only really sent it to him just asking, like, hey, question for you. Is this a good neighborhood for us to be looking in? And he was like, Chase, he's like, can you take a call? And I was like, sure. And he was like, this is the most desired neighborhood in all of Daybreak. It's so shocking that a house is for sale. This seems like a good deal. It definitely seems underpriced. But so they're going to have bids. Would you like me to go look at it for you? Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, actually, that'd be so nice. Like, he's like, yeah, I'll just go take video really fast. Let me call the real estate agent because I know the seller's agent. He then calls me back and he's like, hey, do you want the tea on the house? And I was like, I love gossip. Yes, I want all the information. And they were like, well, it listed today and they're only going to take offers for the day, like today. So you'd have to have an offer done tonight. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
Ooh. And so I was actually driving up to Steven's show. He was performing at Eccles.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let me so I show Steven the listing. He's like, oh, I would buy that tomorrow. And the other guys in Gentry were like, oh yeah, that's so classic Steven. Just like add to cart, buy, move on. So then Jordan sends me the videos and he's like, Chase, and he calls me. He's like, it's even better in person. Like it really looks so good. So I was like, wait. And he's like, do you want to put in an offer? And he's like, what does Steven think? So I sent him a picture of Steven actually performing in real time. I was like, he's not thinking about the house at all because he's on stage performing. And then I was just like, I think we should put an offer on. We didn't even look at it, but we were like, I think we should put an offer on the house. And I'm not typically, I'm like pretty bold. I'm not like risk averse, but I'm also like fairly conservative on big things. Like I'm like deliberate and whatever.
Research, development.
So during intermission, I go backstage. Steven is in the dressing room and I said to him, can I speak with you privately in the bathroom, please? And the other guy's like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to mess around at a Jesus concert. Like, calm your tits. So I'm like, remember how you said you would buy that house today?
Did you mean it?
Did you mean it? Because I think we should put an offer in. And he was like, wait, what? And I was like, okay, I also just need your driver's license and you need to sign an agreement that Jordan's going to send us.
Passport, social security, and driver's license.
Yeah.
Thank you, and credit card,
how much do you want to put for down? And so he was like, okay, if you feel good about it, do it. And I was like, okay. So we went back.
I love that amount of trust in your partner.
So much trust. And then, so I wrote Jordan and he drafted it and he was like, okay, great. The next day he calls, it says, hey, they received so many offers on the place. We're given an opportunity to up our offer or to improve our offer. And I was like, I think I felt really good about it last night. So let's not change it. And he was like, everyone else is going to change it. And I was like, well, then we'll stand out. We'll stand out for not changing ours. So then he calls me back later that night and he's like, they took your offer. The only condition is that you have to physically come and see the house today since you've not seen it. So I called Steven and was like, hey, let's go. He was fried from the show. So thankfully my mom came with us and we walk in and
you need a reasonable eye when the other person is exhausted. Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. And she was like setting us up to be like, hey, just remember boys, like photos are very different. They don't look as good as the advertisements. We walked in and we were like, whoa, this is it. We are so sold.
I feel like shopping for houses really is so much like that. Like I hear that story repeatedly. Yes. That's exactly what happened to us. Like we saw the house Saturday, or we saw the listing Tuesday and we're like, oh, we would buy this house tomorrow. Saturday, somebody else sent it to us and we're like, well, let's just go look at it. We had made an offer by Sunday night. Like it just, when you know.
Yeah. Jordan had said too, like, because he was like, hey, let me send you some other listings. He was like, no pressure. All like that to me is the difference between someone I want to work with forever. And unfortunately, like I won't be buying houses my whole life. Like I'm going to do it a handful of times max. But
tough business for realtors. You really only have like a
Yeah, but there's so many houses. So it's really not a reoccurring. It's kind of like a divorce attorney. So many divorces. I don't need reoccurring clients. I just need the industry to be strong.
Although yours gets a little bit reoccurring when there's children involved.
Yeah, because there's always issues.
Like you have a little bit of.
And I've had a couple of clients divorce and then get remarried to that same person and then divorce them. So I have a couple of reoccurring clients. I'm looking at, you know who you are if you're listening. Anyway, so great. We couldn't have done it without Jordan. And he's just been so wonderful to work with. So this episode absolutely is dedicated to Jordan and we'll say Adam because Jordan has fully promised that Adam will help install can lights in the house in rooms that we want can lights. And so this is just a preemptive thank you.
Thank you to Adam.
So we spent doing furniture shopping.
Yeah.
Here's how most of it goes. Steven. So what are you thinking for the house? Me. I don't know yet. I'll know when I see it. Steven. Okay, can I be there? Yeah, sure. You could come with me. Okay, great. Wandering out of the furniture shop. Steven. Does this speak to you? No. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's stupid. Does this speak to you? No. Okay, great. Does this, baby, I'll just let you know. Okay, yeah. Like he wanted to be so present, which was so wonderful, but he was also like, you have the taste in the relationship and I know that I do not. And so just tell me what you want to do and how much it costs, which is low key perfect for me.
Yep. Honestly, like furniture to me, I feel like very much like art I'm going to put on a wall. When I like it, I will know immediately and I will not leave the piece or whatever the furniture piece's side. Yeah. Like the time I found my swivel chairs for my living room, I like saw them and then I did not move. I was sitting in that spot for like 30 minutes debating whether or not I wanted them. Like if I can't move, if I am rooted to the spot, then I want that thing.
Yeah. It is just like a weird, that's what I was going to say. Jordan had said, what is it about the house that you like? So I could send you other options. And I was like, I don't know. There's something calling me to this one. And furniture's the same way. If I feel like drawn to, it's done. Then we're buying it. Now we're buying wallpaper. See if it's like, well, we should measure the walls first. I'm like, it's on sale. The wallpaper's on sale. We got to get it. So we've had a very exciting, and then we did general conference. We listened to it Saturday because we were out and about, and then we had people over Sunday, and I made the TikTok cinnamon rolls. You know those ones that like good. Store bought, but then they are not
heavy
store bought.
Cream. Yeah.
A dream. And we went to Costco Saturday with our neighbor Cass and her kid and Johnny. It was the most fun I've ever had at Costco. It was just so fun. You know those people that just make doing anything like pretty fun? Mm-hmm. That was her kid. Like her kid was just like, hi. Like Johnny is so fun. And then we got Costco muffins, which you only can really get Costco muffins if you go with someone else. Oh yeah. Or you have a big family. Because I'm not going to eat 12
if there's a party of 8
muffins.
But I could. If you really challenged
me
to
it. That chocolate muffin heated up for 27 minutes with a glass of milk is like the perfect way to end a night. It's
literally cake. I feel like you could buy those, cut off the muffin tops, and then cover them with frosting and make a bunch of mini cakes.
Okay, wait. I'm going to see.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, the poppy seed too. Do you want to hear something crazy about me? Here we go, ranting about Costco again. The poppy seed muffins.
Costco, give us a sponsorship. We are doing the Lord's work.
Do they sponsor a podcast? Because I will literally talk about them every episode.
Done. I will too. We will do a Costco review.
When I was a kid with the poppy seed muffins, I would like get the top or like, pieces of the muffin, and then I would squeeze it between my fingers. Okay. So it was like a very tight, like compact piece of muffin.
Like a cake bite.
And then eat it that way. Yes. I would make cake bites of the poppy seed muffins.
But in the shape of your fist.
Yeah, but it's like as a
with the weird finger imprints.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you played with Play-Doh. But it's like
I actually thought those are only 690 calories, the chocolate muffin ones. What? I thought they would have been a lot more. That's information I wish I wouldn't have learned because I still have 3 muffins at my house.
Yeah.
That's at end the night, not smart.
I feel like you could heat them up and serve them with ice cream.
I sometimes heat them up and then I cut it and then I just pour milk on it and I make slub.
Speaking of, when we went to that restaurant in St. George,
yes,
we go to get dessert and I'm thrilled because they make everything in-house. Everything is from scratch. Agreed. One of the menu items is a banana split. You know me from our trips to Leatherby's.
Yes.
I love a banana split.
Yeah, you do.
That is also a crazy thing to order on a dessert menu when you're sharing with like 3 other people who are like, don't feel passionately about a banana split. Yeah, exactly. And adults.
Who are voting
and
age.
I'm like, I want the banana split. And they're like, there's a key lime pie and banana bread pudding. We're not getting a banana split. And I was like, I'm so mad at all of you. We get the key lime pie. Delicious, amazing. But I'm like, I still wish I wanted the banana split. And then the banana bread pudding comes out. It's bread pudding made with banana bread.
Oh, heaven.
I was like, you all were right. I'm so sorry. This is delicious. It is delectable.
But did you never get the banana split?
We never ordered the banana split.
I'm going to St. George because I have clients in St. George, so I'm going this month. I'm going to go to Wodash Riot, get a banana split, and just send you a picture. Please. That way I could report back.
And tell me it's absolutely spectacular. Please.
I'll be like, oh, yeah.
No, like send me a picture raving about it so that I can send it to Alex, Amanda, and Traven and be like, F all of you.
Yes.
I knew I should have gotten this banana split. You were dead wrong. But also, you need to get the banana bread pudding. It's not quite like yours where it's like kind of baked together. It's more just like really, really, it's more like a tres leches.
Yes.
Where it's just like soaked bread, but it's banana bread. It's literally
so good.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I forgot to, and I should have done this on the pod last week, but the other thing that we did this weekend was celebrate my mom's birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Liz.
And major shout out to Megan, who also did say that we can always use her spot for any good baddie parties.
Megan, we will take you up on that.
Do not tempt us with a good time. Mm-hmm. She made the most insane cake for my mom. Did you see it? I posted on social. And she's just such an incredible human being. So we love Sweet Tooth Fairy. Sweet Tooth Fairy. Everybody go get treats from the Orem location. But we celebrated my mom. Here's a couple of things that I absolutely love about my mom. One, you will never meet someone more loyal, fiercely loyal like my mom. She is Caroline Manso, but not from New Jersey. She's like the Salt Lake Caroline Manso. Yeah. And I love that about her. She's also incredibly generous. I have personally benefited from that. I've witnessed so many people benefit from it. She's just someone who is kind and gracious. She's also brilliant.
I was going to say generous. So you already touched on that one for me. Wise.
Yes.
I went to lunch with her last year during like a very hard time in my life. And like, I swear that I still quote things that she said from that lunch that like literally uplifted me to a different place. And then while we were there, she paid for somebody else's lunch, which she's probably going to be embarrassed that I told. But like, it was like this small family who had chaotic kids. And the whole time I just saw her watching them smiling. Like I could tell she was almost like reminiscing of like, oh, I remember my life when like it was like that. And she paid for their meal. And I was like, I want to be as good as Liz.
That I will say, not to out both of my parents, but that's something they've done ever since I've known them. When we are out to dinner, they will pick up someone else's tab.
Kevin does that too, and he's very secretive, but he really like hates the attention about it. And I'm like, I think that also makes it like so kind, but there should be somebody else going like, you're a very generous person and nobody's pointing that out about you. So here on the podcast, I will say it for you, literally to the most amount of people you would hate to hear about it.
Yes. So we love you, Mom. I am sad because it's weird watching your parents get older. And my parents are still so relatively young. Like I have some friends whose parents are like in their late 70s. And I'm like, whoa. My parents had us when they were really young. So it makes me really sad, like watching parents get older, but when I think of people that aren't going to get to age with their parents as long as I'm going to get to age with my parents, I'm like, gosh, that sucks for you. Yeah. Because it's fun watching. I mean, obviously there's certain things where you're like, oh, my parents are getting older. That is a new dynamic. That is a different, and I'm probably going to get a phone call after this from my mom being like, what do you mean getting older? What am I doing different? But it's cool to see the evolution of people that like, you've been with your whole life. And
being an adult with your adult parents is crazy. And then like the relativity too, like I turned 30 this year. My mom was literally had me when she was like, oh no, you're fine. I
just pulled my back. Sneezing. Ow. I am in my late 30s. I think I literally just pulled my back sneezing. That's going to be a social cut. Ow, I'm not kidding you. I just tried getting away from the microphone and... Oh, hang on. I have to stand up. I'm like, I'm not kidding. That hurt so bad. Which is like a 1-2 punch because on Sunday night I was going to bed and I'm a little congested because I had a little bit of a cold. And so I tried like stretching and I kind of like pulled my back then too. So it's just like my body is falling apart. Okay. Well, I'm old. We're like watching your parents get old.
Watching gets old to
sneeze,
us. Like,
and then I don't even
like recover. I woke up and on my hip and it was weird. No, my mom had me when she was like 30 and I just turned 30 and she had 4 children when she was 30. And I'm like,
oh, my mom
I have
had
a stepdaughter
4.
And I even like sometimes I'm like, should I have one? Like, I'm around other kids. I'm like,
no, you're going to be an amazing mom.
I know. But like sometimes when you're around other kids, aren't you like, wow, I'm so glad I never had another one. Like,
let's be honest. I love Charlotte and Oliver so much. We can have the code word be Niagara Falls kids because they did that for spring break.
Oh, fun.
With their mom. I love Charlotte and Oliver so much. Other kids, like max an 8, maybe a 7 out of 10. Yeah. That's like Johnny, like the cutest little neighbor kid. At best, he's like a 7, 8.
Yeah.
Most kids for me are like a 3.
Yeah.
Kids on a plane, -5. I want to open the door myself and throw them out.
What do you suggest they do?
I don't care. Not fly. Drive. Did you fly all the time growing up?
No, but
we drove
poor.
Because we were respectful.
No, we were poor.
No, honey. We drove because we're like, you know what would be awful? Taking 4 of you little buttholes on an airplane with other adults paying their tickets.
No, you were poor. That was the problem.
No. Kids generally, I'm like, well, I'm not the only person.
No.
If people are being honest, we don't actually love other people's kids. We love like maybe like if they say something funny, but at a family dinner. No, this goes back
to when we were like, I have a favorite niece and nephew.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely have a favorite.
Like openly, I'll be like, Reese is perfect. Morgan is perfect.
Yeah. No, there's certain people that are like,
Jada is also
these
perfect.
Are excellent people.
Oh, I just like the girls.
Sexist. No, there's
We're kindred spirits though. I'm like kindred with all of them. I'm like, oh, that's me. That's me. That's me.
Yeah, no,
that's why I think they're perfect.
I genuinely love. I'm trying to think about the best way to say this. I genuinely love all of my nieces and nephews. I don't want to hang out with them. Mm-hmm. Generally.
Yeah.
Like I'll do like a party or something or like a Thanksgiving, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, you know who I need to hang out with. And they're cool, like in their own way. Well, some of them. Well, one of them's not. But other than that, you know who I'm talking about. So
no
I just think, no comment. So, no, but wait, how did we get on this about having kids, getting older? Oh, in your 30s. Yeah, because your mom had 4 kids at 30. My mom had 4 kids under the age of 4 at 27.
Oh, yeah, because she had twins.
She had twins and then
really
my
helps.
brother's 2 years older than me, and my younger brother's just a year and a half younger than me. So many kids. My mom
like
is
dogs.
like a warrior.
They had 2 dogs most of their life.
Totally. My parents did too. My mom, she tries saying that she didn't breastfeed one of our pugs. And I know that she didn't technically breastfeed them, but we used to fake. My mom used to like sneak Winnie into, and Mom, you can challenge me on this, but I know this is true. She wrapped Winnie up as though she was like a baby, had her like underneath like a cover up to sneak her into a hotel when we were on a trip. And Winnie's a pug, so she... And so my mom had asked us all to just like be chatty Cathys as we're in the place to like help distract from the noise. I think this is a core memory.
My parents actually this weekend, I was like, do you guys remember when we would go on like 4 or 5 day trips and you literally would just like close all the doors in our house and then just like leave Sadie alone for 5 days?
The dog?
Yes. Like they would just overfill her bulk. Sadie did not like, she didn't overeat. And then they would just have somebody like come to the house and check on her during the day. And I'm like,
oh, I get that.
And we also had a dog door too, so she could go in and out. So like there was no accidents in the house. Like it wasn't. And my dad was like, we never did that. And I was like, okay, revisionist history. Yes, we did. And he got he was like, no, we didn't. I was like, Dad, this is one time we did it. He's like, okay, that one time. And I was like, here's another time. And he was like, That did happen. I was like, no,
sorry, Kevin.
I actually
you're being put on blast. The good Lord giveth and she taketh away. She's like, Kevin does secretly buy everybody meals at restaurants. We're like, oh, he's such a good man. And then he dead ass left our dog into the house by himself for 5 days.
Normal.
Yeah, we used to leave kids in the car to go to the grocery store with the windows rolled down.
It's not even that I'm like upset about it. I just was like, I remember we would go on trips not longer than 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
But like, she would just be alone in the house.
Oh, my mom loved the dogs more than us.
Yeah.
And so if we were going for 4 or 5 days, the dogs were coming and we would be left at home. That never happened. But if there was an option of like,
she could have.
One of the animals need to leave, be left behind, it's the humans.
Yeah. It's the youngest.
Yeah. My parents have new mini golden Cavapoos.
Oh my gosh. They're
golden,
so cute.
just Cavapoos, right? Is it?
I think they're just Cavapoos, yeah.
The cutest dogs,
gosh,
but one of
so
them's
cute.
in heat. Like had her first little Bloody Mary.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Are they only like 7 months?
No, I think they're coming on like maybe a year. Maybe like 9 or 10 months.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, and so my mom's like, oh gosh, the girls are bleeding again, because I went to their house to help do some furniture stuff. And my mom is like, takes such unbelievable care of them. Those dogs are the most princessed dogs of all time.
I know I can't get a small dog because it literally will come everywhere with me.
Oh, get a small dog and bring them here.
Like it literally will just sit on my chest during everything. Like I will have a purse dog 1,000%. I even tried to put Wrigley in my purse. I have one photo
Wrigley,
of him in a
he's
bag.
how big?
85 pounds. He was at the time only like a month old though, so he fit in a purse, and I put him in because I was like, he's not gonna fit in a purse for very long.
Okay, wait, can I tell you something? When you mentioned the weight, it just brought me back to, did you know that pieces of furniture now have like a weight bearing capacity on the description?
What?
So it'll say like can hold up, so like we're looking at accent chairs, okay, and it's like we can hold up to 250 pounds, we can hold up to 300 pounds. So Stephen and I last night are looking at accent chairs, and we were going through friends and family, and we were like, so we're going to need some more hefty chairs.
I have to die.
And so we were like,
brothers.
oh man, we would love this one chair, but that would mean if we had other people over, we'd have to say to them like, you actually can't sit in that because it was very expensive. So Steven's like, we have to find just like, because we have people that may push the envelope and we don't want to embarrass them with them crushing a chair. So now I'm Googling weight capacity for everything. Dining table, how much can this hold? Dining chairs, how much can this hold? That's why we got a bench.
Furniture wasn't made like it used to be.
Furniture's not made. I want it just to be like a tree trunk with like a cushion.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody will ever squash this. Because
we just get it from like the big trees forest in California. We just cut open trees and then
it's just like tires, just like like semi-truck tires at pallets that are like woven so that it's like it can hold a bridge
with like bungee cords.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, should we get into doing some of these?
Let's do it.
All right. The first are two kind of stories that are similar pieces of advice, call for similar pieces of advice, but are very different. Calvin Harris's wife admits that she listens to Taylor Swift's music as soon as he's away. And that's controversial because, of course, we know that Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris dated. So Calvin Harris's wife, Vic Hope, what an interesting name.
Yeah.
Vic, for a female's name. Not that we're gendering names, but we are. Admits that she's a big fan of his ex-girlfriend Taylor Swift. Quote, as soon as my husband goes away, I listen to Taylor Swift. She told on an episode of the BBC show Going Home with Vic, Katie, and Jamie. That's just when I get need a little fill a hole. Just a couple of songs, get it out of my system, and then it's done.
That's so funny.
It's so funny. And that was actually the entirety of the article, which is so funny. But so we got to talk to that one in conjunction with Noah Cyrus likes Liam Hemsworth's thirst trap amid alleged family feud. Noah Cyrus is a fan of Liam Hemsworth's latest Instagram posts as she liked gym selfie where he does look. I mean,
well, it's because he's training to be the Witcher.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
So he has to match what Henry Cavill looked like. So
that'll never happen.
No,
you can try. So here's general advice to handling exes, and I think it's like your partner's ex and your sibling's ex. Actually, I have the same piece of advice. Don't F with them.
Yep.
Like, I love Taylor Swift. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love her.
Such a funny way of dealing with it, though, because like, imagine she gets asked about Taylor Swift all the time.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
Like, that was a funny way to be like, yeah, no, I'm a fan of her. I listen to her music when Calvin isn't around. That is a way that you can be still loyal.
Yes.
To your partner while being funny and like cheeky about it and like, oh yeah, no, I'm a fan of Taylor Swift. Like, and what is she gonna go? Say, no, I don't listen to her music.
And for her to say like, oh yeah, I'll just turn on like 1 or 2 songs, fill that little gap, get my fix, and then be done.
Exactly.
Excellent. That's to me still picking your person, still being loyal. I'm confident this isn't the first time Calvin Harris is hearing about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that's their like shtick.
No,
right?
literally, like they're laying down at night and she's like, you are so annoying today. I'm going to listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Or she's just like, you know, and Calvin's like, oh my gosh, stop it, Vic. She's like, oh, sorry. I just had a song in my head. It's so catchy. Like low key, I live that because intention matters. And so I think you can be loyal and do the exact same thing, you know, like publicly, whatever. Noah Cyrus, get your ish together. What are we liking? Like, it's so weird to me. Particularly if you're in if your family's in the spotlight right now because of just how bizarre your mom was with alleged your ex, for you then to go and like it. Now I think she's trying to prove a point. I think she's trying to be provocative. I think she's trying to be in the news. Like, I give her all of that because I think a lot of celebrities are just so thirsty for fame, that they're willing to do anything to stay relevant. Also,
like, I'm sorry, the pictures that were posted with this article, I'm like, Noah Cyrus is a bruja. She is a witch. She is. Oh, yeah. She is starting to look very scary. Like, she is starting to look.
I have to look and see. I didn't even notice her.
Oh, my gosh. Like, the pictures posted with it, I'm like, ugh. Like, she's just starting to scare me a little bit.
Oh, man. And it's kind of hard because Miley and what's the mom's name?
Tish.
Miley and Tish are kind of like beach babes.
They're very California, Barbie, thriving.
And then it's like, the wind shudders and the door slams and it can't. Like, and then like Noah clunk with her big old boots and her. This is like a full Kate.
No, she's terrified. Like in all the photos I look of her, like especially the no eyebrow look for me is I'm like, ugh. She looks scary. And like Miley is in this like very like luminescent skin, Tina Turner, tan, big hair, and Noah's like.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into the night sleeping.
Very talented, scary.
Thank you. Oh,
she looks like
Noah.
No.
I'm like, thanks, Queen. I haven't even warmed up and I'm sick, if you could believe.
Noah Cyrus to me looks like the really bad years of Mary-Kate and Ashley.
That they're still in. It's like Mary-Kate and Ashley's wannabe friend, and like she's doing it to be something. She's kind of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like all of a sudden, she's Carrie, and like you've pushed her too far, and then just like raining blood. And she's like, you know, whatever. She pulls out a serpent and she like trains the serpent and it bites Miley and it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She disappears for a while.
I'm so glad we're on the same page about that. Anyway, she should be loyal.
Yeah. You know what's the ugliest part about her? Her disloyalty. That is the ugliest thing. And
even
that
witches
says a
are
lot.
loyal.
Yeah,
witches
even witches follow a code.
Loyal.
They have a coven. Okay? Those witches are loyal to the coven. You're loyal to nobody, Noah. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so our general advice is please just be loyal to your main people. I'm watching The Valley. Are you watching The Valley?
No, but I've heard
we need to do our 3 GBs before we forget because we talked about them beforehand. Let's pause and we'll do our 3 GBs, but I need to finish The Valley. The Valley's actually pretty good. Jax Taylor is so messy.
Such good reality TV.
But
he knows how to do reality TV.
He's friends with Kristen Doty and has been forever, intimately. And he's like creating drama with her ex and her current boyfriend.
Yeah.
Inviting both of them to like an event, not telling the new boyfriend that he's bringing.
Because he knows how to be on reality TV.
But I'm like, be loyal. That's what Kristen kind of says. And I don't love Kristen Doute at all, but she does make a good point in saying, hey, like, be loyal to me. You should have loyalty to me. Even if you liked my ex.
Yeah.
Loyalty still. So that's the advice to people. Okay, let's go over our 3 GBs. Before we get into those, though, this is another plug for our movie of the month.
Yes.
The Miracle Club. I did watch it last night.
I have not watched it yet.
It's so good, you guys. I sent it to multiple people last night, just being like, this is a really beautiful movie. I sent the trailer to a bunch of friends, just saying, this is so like wonderful. It's on Netflix. Please, everybody watch it. We are going to do a full recap on the movie at the end of the month or beginning of next. So be sure to watch that. But my first G is the CDK choreography to someone that I used to know.
Oh.
Steph and I used to send each other music videos or really just choreography, dance videos for years.
Oh, we would be like, have you seen this? And you'd be like, of course I have.
Yes, of course. Kyle Hanagami, we are... Almost
Kyle Hanagami,
all of those views.
Brian Puspos, Ian Eastwood,
all of the people.
Wildebeest, although I don't.
Not really Wildebeest. Who's the
Wildebeest also canceled. So Janelle Janestra.
Yeah, but who's the Asian kid? Remember
Sean.
With Sean, yes, and then Kaylee the girl that he dances with. We watched those.
No, deeply rooted, like one of the pillars of our friendship
was
dance.
And we had taken a break from that. We haven't exchanged dance videos in part because there hasn't
really doing it like
well,
that
and there
anymore.
hasn't been like So You Think You Could Dance is back on, which is great, but then we didn't really have World of Dance. We didn't have 10 Stents Across the Board, I Step Out, They All Applaud, whatever that was.
There was like fatigue for choreographers of doing like YouTube content.
Yes, and I want like them to come back.
Yeah.
Please. So you guys just need to Google CDK dance. I'm sure it'll be the first one that comes up, but then it's someone that I used to know. The moves, the costume, the styling, the storytelling, it's so good.
I think is bringing it back?
What?
That I think it's a song called Somebody Like by The Jungle, and it's the Gap did a commercial using the choreography. I think it's gonna have a resurgence because that video went super viral for the dance moves from that like concept video.
Okay, please, choreographers, please create more content and put it out there. Steph and I will watch. We will watch. We will share. We will we will subscribe.
There was a Cake Pop song that I was obsessed with that I showed you.
You said that to me. Yes,
like about
the dancing
a month
was
ago.
amazing.
Like,
yes.
I'm like, please, I need a resurgence of really good choreography.
Yeah, so that is my first G of the week. Good content is the CDK contemporary dance. Do you want to do yours or do you want me to do all 3 of mine?
You do all 3.
The second thing that I'm a pretty big fan of right now is we're watching One Day on Netflix, the Netflix series. We know we're going to cry. We could feel it building. We haven't hit that point yet.
Yeah.
But finding shows that you could watch at the end of the day that's like happy and not like overwhelmingly dramatic is really like that's the era Steven and I are in. And so One Day is really, really beautiful. We live, laugh, love it.
Yep.
My B, though, something that I didn't love, is I watched Apples Don't Fall on Peacock. Annette Bening is in it. I don't even know if last week I said it was good. It did not finish well.
Yeah.
I hate those movies that it's wonderfully built up, and then when you see the like resolution in the finale, you're like, what in the actual hell? This is what I do not believe. Okay, I'm spoiling it. So
okay.
Spoiler alert. Concept being, and I already said this is a B, so I'm not encouraging people to watch it.
Yeah.
Concept is mom goes missing. Okay.
Yeah.
She's got 4 adult children and a husband. Husband's like a former professional tennis player. There's random girl like, please help me because my boyfriend was gonna murder me, and can I please stay here?
Yeah.
They let this random girl in to their house who stays in the house for months. It beds herself into their little family unit. It turns out mom had done something bad, but not horrible, that comes to life. And so comes to light, I mean. And so the other kids kind of kick mom out. Like they're icing her out and it's for a couple weeks, if not months.
Yeah.
Mom injures herself on a bike accident. She calls the kids for help, calls her husband. Nobody picks up. So she calls this other girl and just decides, oh yeah, for like 2 weeks, I'm just going to be gone. I'm not going to have my phone. I'm not going to reach out to anybody. I'm just going to take time for me and let them miss me. So the whole series, all prior 6 episodes are all about for the different perspectives of family members. Was she murdered by her husband? Was she, you know,
she just decided to take a 2-week break.
She just decided to take a 2-week break and then come back. And you're like, what?
Is that based off of a Leanne Moriarty book?
Possibly. Let me look up and see.
Because, like, I read one of her books, and I think it's, like, the stupidest book I've ever read. I have to sneeze.
Yep, it is. Moriarty Lane book.
Oh, my gosh. Her books are trash. The only one that was good was Big Little Lies, and the only reason it was good was because of the star-studded cast with the series. Her books are trash. They're, like, suspicious but not suspicious. You really see everything coming. I read one of them. You know what? This is going to be my bad for the week.
Okay, good.
I read one of her books. Don't even know what the name of it is because I hate it so much. I had to know what happened, so I finished it. And that was the book that taught me that I am okay to DNF books. Because I was like, what?
DNF is do not finish.
Do not finish, yes. What a waste of my time.
Yes.
I was so annoyed by the end of it that I'm like, I need to state to all my book girlies, do not finish that book. You do not need to finish it.
You need to figure out the name of the book so we can post it. And like, warning, stay away from this show and this book.
Let me see her other books and I can show you which one it is. And then you could go into your other.
No, those are my 3. You got to do your 3.
Oh, okay. It was like, there's like candles on the cover, I want to say. Maybe not. It's a white cover with like imagery on it. Although I think that's pretty much all of her covers.
The Husband's Secret?
No.
9 Perfect Strangers. Truly Madly Guilty.
Truly Madly Guilty. That was the one. Stupid.
Okay.
Do not read that book. Pretty much don't read any of her books. Sorry. I think they're like, what? That happened? Crazy. You totally predicted that.
Yeah. Also, if you not want like thriller-esque
books, you should read Frida McFadden. Frida McFadden. All right. Here's my first good. Frida McFadden is an amazing thriller author right now who just is pretty much pumping out books every 6 months. It's very like formulaic, but you're going to get a great thriller read every single time you read Frida McFadden.
My thriller author obviously is David Baldacci, murder mystery but thriller, or Patterson or Cussler.
The thing with like David Baldacci and Patterson to me is that it's just like it's just, to me, it's like a big ask. Like, because their books are just like, they're very talented authors, but like they're a little bit just like, it's in depth. It's like, it's this way, that way. Like,
very sophisticated.
It's very sophisticated.
You're learning a lot about like the research they must have done is very extensive.
Frida McFadden, you will feel that it's researched and well done, but you can get through it in 24 to 48 hours.
Okay, cool.
So like, if you're looking to just add book counts to your year, or you're like, ooh, I want a thriller that I can get through really quickly. They're very good palate cleanser books. Sometimes I will read like a epic fantasy book and then be like, my brain cannot jump into anything else. So I'll read a Frida McFadden thriller and then I'm just like, oh, cool. Now like my brain is cleansed.
Right. Okay.
It's like just having a little sweet treat at the end of your meal.
Okay, cool. Okay, your other ones?
My other good is, I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but Cowboy Carter is literally the best album of all time.
Okay.
It's so good. And here's the thing. Ever since our listening party, there are some songs I have not even listened to fully because I'm just like, I need to give them the time of day. But the ones that I have appreciated fully, they are so good.
Give a rec.
Daughters,
okay.
Or Daughter. The one where she talks about like, people say I'm not like my father, but I'm as cold as Titanic water. Like, and then in the middle of it, she sings an Italian opera song. And you're like, if anybody ever tells me nobody is usually saying this, but if anybody ever tells me again that Beyonce is overrated, I'm going to say, shut up. And I'm going to put on that song and I'm going to blast it in their ears until they never say it again. Her singing an Italian opera in the middle of her song.
What?
Like, I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to hear it from you.
Right.
Listen to this and appreciate it, or cram it up your cram hole.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
My second good, because I already went over my bad. I guess my good was also the Thriller. I'm just going to plug Physical 100 again. I literally sobbed during one of the episodes.
Wait, and you have to talk Summer House.
Oh, and Summer House. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I created new good bads while we were while you were talking, because I was like, oh, I have things to say about that. Okay, and then for reality TV, the best reality TV on right now is Summer House.
Agreed.
It's a little bit more like older teen content, so
yeah, it's not for everybody.
No, it's not for our younger listeners. And then if you're going to start watching it from the beginning, you should start around season 3 or 4.
Yeah.
When Paige and Hannah have their first summer in the house. It's just really
Paige
good fighting content, good reality TV content, good, like, kind of like nonsensical. Like, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
That you won't feel like so invested, but you'll just
heavy.
be like, oh, this is good.
Housewives, because it's just they really celebrate fighting. Mm-hmm. It's Summer House is really not that. Summer House to me is about like fun and drama, but like fun and not.
It ain't that serious.
Like, yeah, none of them are taking themselves so seriously.
No, they'll fight and they'll be annoying, but like I feel like nobody understands reality TV better than like millennials. Yeah, and so it's good TV. Always.
Yes, agreed.
So it's so good. Okay, those are my good bads. Let's go to the next story. I'm rambling.
All right. Now, Morgan Wallen is in the news. Mm-hmm. And I actually am mad. Mm-hmm. Because at Morgan Wallen.
100%.
Now, Morgan Wallen had an outburst at a Nashville bar. And it resulted in him. And it was after he learned that his ex-fiance was marrying another guy. And so he threw a chair off the balcony down like 3 floors, and it was just a handful of feet away from the police. It landed just a handful of feet away from the police, so he was charged with a felony. Yeah. I am taking Oliver to see Morgan Wallen for, that's what he got for Christmas in Denver in June. Do I understand you get really upset, you're drunk, you don't have, whatever. Okay, fine. If you are such an idiot face that you in public cannot control your liquor and you're going to act a fool, how do I take my kid to you and have him be like, hey, we love Morgan Wallen so much. He was a total drunk idiot and demonstrated like such horrible judgment, but now I'm supposed to like have my 11-year-old son go to the concert? Like
literally you came back from one of the worst atrocities in cancel culture of like saying a racial slur. Yep. And people still love and listen to your music. And now you're throwing a chair off of a building in a very popular street in Nashville. Like, I just am like, you are actually not very smart, is what I'm learning. Like, you're kind of dumb. Like, I'm like, how are people supposed to support? Like, I know that you have really great music. How are people supposed to support you when you're making such stupid decisions?
Yeah, here's my beef with him. You're arguably one of the biggest names in country music right now. Okay? Mm-hmm. The country music scene has got to get their ish together because first off, you didn't let Beyonce in, a large number of you. Yeah. She didn't get invited to the CMTs on Monday, which I think was a total miss. Yep. And I just feel like the other thing that drives me nuts about country music right now is the outfits at the CMAs or the CMTs were so horrendous.
Crazy.
Except for Kelsey Ballerini, who then got crucified for not wearing pants during her performance. And she's funny. Like, I know. Thank you. I was fine. But my beef with them is that it's like, guys, I want the standard for country music to be higher. Like, for being the genre that seems to embrace Jesus as much, like, just next to gospel and like Christian stuff, I'm like, what? This seems a little out of left field. He drives me nuts because my son loves him so much.
Yeah.
And I want him to be an actual role model, not just someone who makes good music.
Yeah.
And that is a miss because I do think he's like one of the biggest names. It's kind of like Jason Aldean. When Jason Aldean ended up just like going left. And it's like, dang, you've made some really beautiful music, but I will not support you. And that.
What do you mean going left? I don't know what happened
Jason
with Jason
Aldean
Aldean.
like said some super racist, bigoted things.
Really?
Yeah, hang on. I'm going to look up Jason Aldean.
I don't think I listened to Jason Aldean, but I did not know that. I'm
confident Lauren will know.
He just like went left as in he like went liberal. I was like, oh, that's an interesting take. But like, I can see how that would also reflect in country music of like the Chicks got like crucified years back when they said they didn't support the war. And then, you know, they wrote Not Ready to Make Nice. And then they pointed at all of you in the video.
So People reports this was last summer. Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town music video created a lot of controversy.
I remember this. Okay,
that's originally released in May. The song serves as the lead single to an upcoming 11th album. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say that one day they're going to round up. Well, that shiz might fly in the city. Good luck. Try that in a small town. See how for ya make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line and it won't take long. Full of good old boys raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. It just gives, these are our property. You can't take them, a la Civil War Emancipation Proclamation.
It's
like,
so weird.
It's so weird to me. And I think this is just like one of a, you know.
I didn't remember that was him, but now that you said that, I totally, that makes
And that's
sense.
where I just want, if you're going to be in the public eye, please do a better job at being a role model. As a parent, I don't want to support people that are going to.
So many people who love Morgan Wallen. And like, I think I still was a little bit, I've literally never heard one of his songs because I'm still a little bit like, didn't he use a racial slur? Like I still have been holding him at arm's length.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh yeah, no, I will never listen to your music.
I know,
actually.
and I hate it because I listen to it because of Oliver.
No, and I've heard it's good music.
It is.
Like I've heard he's very talented, but I'm like, I'll stick to Luke Combs. Thank you.
I'll stick to
an unproblematic king.
I'll stick to Post Malone.
Oh, Post Malone,
who's going to be
so
dropping
good.
a country album.
Oh, speaking of Post Malone, Levi's jeans.
Speaking of Post Malone, Levi's jeans, Levi's stock went up 20% after Beyonce and Post Malone's song. And then did you see Levi's changed their About Them on their social media to say thanks with a B on it for the like bump. We live for the impact of Beyonce.
Tell me again how Beyonce is overrated.
Yeah.
Tell me again.
Now, you know what else is definitely overrated? Airplane safety. Because
apparently, if you work at Boeing,
another video has surfaced of a Boeing 737 with the flippin' engine cover ripping away.
Okay.
I fly a lot because my kids live out of state, so I travel to see them. We travel a lot for Steven's work. We travel a lot for leisure.
Boeing 737s are mainly Southwest planes.
Yes.
Is what I
don't fly that because of B Gates. I refuse to walk to B Gates.
They're creating a new
I don't care.
tunnel.
I'm a Delta baby. I'm a Delta loyalty. I'm loyal. I got that from my mama. So I will always fly Delta. But the 737s are not well. Boeing is not well. They're not having a good couple of years. It's shocking to me. I also saw something, I was going to send it to you as a story, where a pilot was filmed trying to fix a window on an airplane.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I saw somebody on social media being like, I just found out my plane that I'm flying to Miami is a 737. Should I be worried? Somebody responds, no, you shouldn't because the regulations are like stricter than ever, blah, 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 blah. 2 days later, engine check rips off of a 737. I'm like...
And the windows don't totally close.
Are we okay?
Yeah. I just feel like... And the price for tickets has just kept going up and up and up. I would think damage control, this would be the ideal time to buy an airplane ticket. It's not. I just tried looking at tickets to fly to Denver for the Morgan Wallen concert because I'm waiting for the right time.
You should fly Southwest.
I'm not flying Southwest.
You know what? Who has great deals to Denver? Allegiant.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's
so
the thing: when you're so used to flying
Delta,
Delta, and when you have high status,
when you fly out of the. But here's the thing: if you could get it for $50 for a quick weekend trip,
yeah, worth it.
But flying Allegiant, you have to fly out of the Provo airport, which pretty much is the equivalent of like flying out of a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
Like you walk in, the TSA is
John.
It's more
he
like
also FSA,
like
scanning your tickets.
Fake TSA.
He's also gonna be the flight attendant.
Yeah, no.
And his brother is the pilot, but he's
this is not
sleeping
government
off
regulated. This isn't. They're like, did you bring something? You're like, no. They're like, okay, go ahead.
Do you have ID? You look like a Steven. Okay, move on. Keep it going.
Literally. But it's worth it unless it's a 737.
What'd you say is the worst? Are we saying what is Spirit Airlines is the worst, right?
Spirit or Frontier?
Because here's my Spirit experience.
Frontier is the worst.
When I think of what's the show? Oh, Hacks. I flew down here on Spirit. Effing Airlines. You remember that scene on Hacks?
Seen Hacks.
You haven't seen Hacks?
I know it's a show. I would like.
Oh, Steph.
Contemplate.
Let me bear my testimony about Hacks.
Please.
When I tell you it's the smartest pilot I've ever seen in my entire life,
okay, fine,
it is Hacks. Steven and I have memorized the fight dialogue between the two leads, Jean Smart and I forget the other girl's name, but she was a guest on RuPaul's Drag Race and she was the cutest. We have memorized that so that we could do it back and forth. And at one point, she's like, I flew down here on Spirit freaking Airlines. So for my birthday, my mom flew us down to to Vegas, or we were doing Vegas. And so Stephen and I were buying tickets. And we said, let's fly Spirit. So that way we get like the actual Vegas experience a la Hacks.
No. Bad idea.
We check in, get our bag, put it on the little thing. Get through security.
Canceled
get
or
to
delayed
Starbucks.
8 hours.
Canceled. We were seeing Adele. Oh, no, that's what it was. It was for Adele.
Yeah.
So we had to buy same day Delta flights to Vegas, which were astronomical to be able to see Adele that day because Spirit just did us dirty. So Spirit will always be the trashiest to me.
Spirit,
but I've never even tried Frontier.
No, Frontier is like, would you like to get there?
Possibly. Okay, our last people we're giving advice to, and this is, I'm so excited about this story because I have a lot of thoughts about group chats.
Okay.
But Mel B says that she was kicked out of the Spice Girls group chat, quote, that always happens to me. Mel B says that she was kicked out of the Spice Girls WhatsApp group chat, which is so funny because it's not even like a real group chat. It's one where you can mute the notifications to the actual app itself, but still. So it says that she was kicked out of that, and she's doing her best to prevent it from happening before. She was on a morning show, and she said, yes, that always happens to me because I say things. I get so excited when it comes to Spice Girls because this is 30 years and we've got to celebrate. The fact that we're all still healthy and living life and talking still, it's nice, and I can't say anything else to get myself kicked out. Then she says, well, what have you said? In the interview, he says, what did you say to get kicked out? She says, it's just that I keep pushing for a reunion. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're like, oh my gosh, queen, new thing, and then remove someone from the chat. Here, I have strong opinions about group chats.
Yep.
One, nobody is held hostage in a group chat. You should be able to leave the group chat.
Yeah.
I don't know how the permissions work, but I am held hostage currently right now in a group chat. I cannot figure out how to leave the group chat. I've muted it.
I think it depends on the owner. Like if the owner is like an Android or like an owner didn't create it under iMessage.
Yeah. So one, nobody should be held hostage. Two, nobody has to be included in a group chat.
Yep.
Like it's okay. If you're not in a group chat, you don't have any right to be upset.
No.
I think that that's the most stupid thing in the whole world. But part three, we need to kick people out of group chats more.
Yeah.
I think group chat culture could really be benefited from being like, sorry, Chase has removed Stephanie from the group chat. Like that is new to me. That is the new, like middle finger is removing someone from a chat, and we should be permitted to do that all the time. You want to act a fool? Removed.
Yep.
I'm down for that.
I don't have beef with group chats, but I totally understand, especially like when you come back to your phone and you have like 35 notifications and you're like, oh, great, now I have to catch up with all of this. And then react to everything that people said because of the reaction tool on iMessage now, which is easier than having to respond to everything that was said. But then they get 10 notifications and it's like a whole thing.
Yes. The only group chat that I love are my family group chat. And we have a couple other group chats. Oh, here's my other rule. If you have a group chat, you need to name them.
Oh, agreed.
Like group chats deserve a name. Some of the best ones that we have right now is Don't Eat Pugs or Whales is our family group chat. We also have Swingers for Cancer, which is the Gentry group chat that I love. Family Gays. We have a group chat of us and the lesbians and the family. Like, I love a named group chat. Yeah. If you have a group chat, you have to name it and then put a picture. You need an icon.
I have a chat with 3 friends from work called Too Fun, Too Funny, because we have a theme of you're either fun or you're funny. And
wait, what am I?
You're funny.
I'm not fun?
You can be both, but like you're, you know what? You might be fun.
What? You don't think I'm funny?
No, but here's the thing. Whoa. You can be both because like obviously Gabby and I are both. Yeah. But like in a duo, one is more fun and one is more funny. And you are still funny or fun. But you're just more of one. But you're more of one of the other. In this dynamic,
I think we're going to put a poll out to the audience. Do you think Stephanie is more the more fun or the more funny?
Here's
oh my gosh, we can't do that because
it will get offended either way.
Yeah, either way.
Like, I think you're way more fun than I am. I think you're so funny, but you're way more fun than I am. That's why I just am like,
so you think you're funnier than me?
In this dynamic, I would say you're the funner person, which would make me the funnier person. That's just like how it works.
No. We've seen the social cuts, babe. We know you're funnier than me. But to be fair, she makes the social cuts. Yeah, no. So she just puts herself on there. It's like,
and then I put a filter on my screen.
It's the group. It's the group picture with someone else, and you're like, I'm a solid 10, and it doesn't matter that they're more of an 8 post.
I also have one called group chat called Round Face Club, because I have 2 friends.
I'm sorry, what?
Round Face Club.
Oh, round. I thought you said brown. I was like, no, Steph, we're gonna need to edit that out.
Oh, cut that out. No, Round Face Club, because we all grew up as like chubby children who had like super round faces. So the like image of the Facebook group too, or the Facebook group of the chat is like this old like Renaissance painting of this guy with just like the roundest face ever. I have an office girly swirls chat.
We have the kids group chat with Steven, me and the kids. It's called Poops at Zapati because Steven used to, when like years ago, when the kids were younger, Steven would do the, oh, that's what you do. You poops at Zapati. Everybody was at Zapati. I poopa. He would do that like shtick, and the kids laughed so hard. So our group one is called Poops at the Party. We also have one that's called Trying to Be Like Jeebus.
So good one.
We have, I want to actually, this is a good, we should call the
What's
episode
your best group chats?
Group chat names or something.
Ooh, my parents' one that has me, Traven, my mom and dad is called Spirit Squad, because we went on a cruise together to Alaska and our cruise ship name was Spirit.
Okay.
So now we're the Spirit Squad.
Okay.
And I've never just stick to Spirit Squad. So anytime we're like going on vacation, doing anything, we're like Spirit Squad.
Okay, wait. I want to know from people what our group. Let's make this a social
What's your best group chats?
What are some of the group chat names? That you guys have, so that way we could start inspiring. Because I kind of think it's like, you know, when people name their Wi-Fi. Yeah. It's like pretty fly for a Wi-Fi. Clever. The clever. I want to know what people's clever.
It's getting jiggy with it.
Yours is. Mm-hmm. Mine is 5GX135-22 because it's Stevens and I haven't renamed it. But when we move in, we're going to rename it.
We haven't renamed ours.
We're going to rename. We're going to name ours when we get our new address.
Yeah, you have to get a new one. Okay.
All right. Anything else, my queen?
No, that's all. I'm funnier than Chase, but he's funner than me. So, do you not agree that you are way more fun than me?
I don't know. I think it's different. It's just like where you're younger than me in some ways. And so I think you just think because we're like the same maturity level, you think for like a 30-something-year-old, I'm more fun.
No. Here's the thing. You are always doing something fun.
Well, that's just because I am an addict to doing things. I'm an addict to my social calendar.
I'm an addict to not being alone.
I'm an addict to not ever having to deal with my personal things. But
like you even talked about like your first date. You planned with Steven. You planned this whole thing. There's ABCs, which I'm jealous of. Like I'm not crapping on that.
Okay, I'm more fun than you.
I think that you're more fun than me. Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm doing crossies. Okay, anything else that you want to say before you just ruin my day?
We're both funny. I think we're all funny.
We're all funny, but we're funnier than most people listening, which is why you're listening to us.
Yeah, and if we're talking to you, listener, we're funnier and you're fun.
Yeah, and don't challenge that, okay?
I love you guys.
All right, so we will talk with you guys next week.
Okay,
bye.